twist inside, this is not perfectly flat. So you always want to make sure that it's perfectly flat. Okay. Otherwise, as you're going in, you're going to develop little shards of bone that are going to get stuck in there, and the whole thing is going to get occluded. So the idea is that it's the sides that are doing the cutting, and you're boring a hole from the sides. It's not the tip, it's the actual sides which actually cuts.
Okay.
Okay? So now, you know, you find you have all your equipment, you have your tape, you have, you know, everything that you've pretty much found. You have your landmark. You want to make sure that you're supporting the leg. And the problem is if you're doing this and pushing down, you know, you're going to fracture a femur, fracture a leg. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're able to support, you know, the leg. The same thing with airway. If you're intubating, you know, you want to be able to lift the head a little bit, you know, to put it under the shoulder blade so that the head tilts back so you have good alignment so you can see what's going on. Okay. So you find, you know, your landmark so you know where you want to be. Okay. So the tibial tuberosity is there about 1 to 2 finger breadths below. Okay, so I would say right there is where I want to do my puncture. Okay, so medial aspect, it's on the inside. I'm going to take my alcohol and swipe, you know, swab the area. Right? And once it's swabbed, again, you want to support this way. If you're supporting down here, you know, you're going to be pushing the leg. If you're supporting this way, you're actually supporting the leg so it doesn't move back and forth. And it's not down here where, I mean, if I grab your ankle and push down,
Yeah.
right, it's painful. But if I grab the lower half of the tib fib, you know, who cares about what the foot is doing? You're not putting a lot of pressure on the foot, so it doesn't cause unusual strains on the foot.
Okay.
So you're holding it this way. You do not want to hold it this way because
yeah, you could stick yourself.
You can stick yourself, okay? So you're holding it here. You found your landmark, it's been clean. So when you're, you know, a constant slow moving back and forth, you know, with downward pressure, and yeah, I mean, on these bones, it is. There we go. All right.
You can let go. Little.
Huh?
You can let go both
Well,
hands at all.
Yeah, but I'm still, I mean, I still
I'm
have
saying
this, right?
Can be actually, it's like a critical failure or something?
No, it's not on the critical failure.
Well, no, but you want, I mean, you don't want to sit there and just walk away without it being secure.
So allow
Okay.
it to,
So as soon you scroll this down until it's just at the tip, okay, just touching. Okay, so you hold this. You're going to take this off the cap. Okay, it's still protected, so you have your syringe, you have everything. So you pull this out in your sharps container and attach it, and then you would flush.
At this point,
goes
you
in
hold-
really. I'm holding
I'm
this.
looking
I
at
mean,
this
it's a
going on
flush,
YouTube.
but
So-
basically you're going to be flushing, and as you're flushing, you know, as you're flushing, you should be able to feel for, or keep your hands on the side, because if it starts to get cold, you know, or if you start feeling slight swelling, then you know that it's not in the right place, or you went all the way through the bone. Okay, so you take this off, okay, and attach your IV tubing. Okay, and you can certainly turn this on, make sure that it's running.
Not around.
Okay, so that's running fine. Okay, you have your tube. And now in taping this, if you start on an angle down here on the side and around, not quite long enough, right?
Mark, really? Yeah, man.
Oh,
Now
you're
you're going to put that on
filming?
YouTube?
Mm-hmm. So you again, on the leg
If
here,
you think goes for YouTube, it's terrible, man.
and you're going around. You don't want to go. I need longer pieces here. Okay, and you can use several pieces. I mean, the pieces are short. You know, you can go this way to hold it as long as the tape doesn't go all the way around the leg. Okay, and that gives you, you know, good support. Okay, and it's bulky, so you can see it. So it's not going to be moving back and forth. Okay. Then the other thing is they're going to say, how much fluid are you giving?
30 milliliters.
Depends on, yeah, 20,
Who?
20 milliliters per kilogram.
20 cc's per kilo. Okay, so the patient weighs 22 pounds.
2 pounds is about 10 kilos, so that's 200 cc's.
Okay, so
Do they
how
want a
fast do you
bolus,
give that?
Or are they giving that over an hour?
Well, that's a bolus. How fast do you
3
give
to
it?
5 minutes?
Hmm?
5 to 10 minutes, I'm sorry.
Okay, so about a
5 to
little
10
5 to 10 minutes is fine.
They're gonna
Okay.
ask you what your drip rate should be.
10 minutes.
Well, I mean, you,
Milliliters at a time.
And
Yeah,
Eight
she
minutes
should
is
be
right
good
there.
on that.
yeah, so I mean, you don't want to sit there and squeeze this, you know, where you're giving 200 cc's all at once, because it's just too quick of a fluid bolus. But the IV is going to go, or the IO is going to go a little bit slower than regular IV. It is a slower moving. Thought you were sitting there for a second. Okay.
Why would I show them a trash can?
Well, because there's,
20 milliliters per minute.
corner of my eye, I didn't know if there was a table.
it was a table,
Okay.
random table.
200 drops
Anything
per
else?
minute.
You've secured, you've checked. What's the next thing you need to do?
Check PMS.
Huh?
Check PMS.
Check PMS.
Yeah.
Reassess.
Reassess.
Monitor the site.
Reassess,
Vital signs.
Vital signs.
vital signs. Okay, so you make sure that this is running and reassess vitals.
I'm never gonna be able to get that drip thing in my head. I can do the amount of milliliters
That's
running
not
per
on our-
hour.
Breaks one off.
That's not on your sheet.